Next one, it says 1.1.2, we are required to calculate the income tax for the year, right? I mean the income tax paid, sorry. There's a difference between income tax and tax paid, right? So sorry about that, right? So the next one, we are required to calculate the tax paid, right? Now, for tax paid, every time, I always advise my learners to draw a T account, right? You draw a T account, you name it tax paid, you label it debit side, credit side, right? I know that some of you, your teachers might have taught you how to calculate this using the straight line method, but I prefer the T account because it's very easy to understand and, and to memorize, right? Right, now, on your T account, you're going to record three amounts. Balance at the beginning, income tax, and balance at the end. I repeat, you're going to draw three amounts, balance at the beginning, income tax, and balance at the end. Right now, the first things first, we know that the information is in the form of what? Balance sheet. Your balance sheet, you know that you've got assets and liabilities. Now, we know that assets, they mean what? Debit side. Liabilities, they mean what? Credit side. In terms of what? In terms of our tax. I hope that makes sense. Right now, you look at your information. You go to balance at the beginning, or you go to the beginning of the year. In this case, the beginning of the year, 2023. In 2023, is our SARS income tax an asset or a liability? You decide. You go and record on the relevant side. If it's an asset, you record it on the debit side. If it's a liability, you record it on the credit side. That is step number one. Step number two, you record what? Income tax. Where are you going to find income tax? The income tax, you're going to find it on information A. The 234 and 80,000 there. The 234,000 and 8, no, the 234,080. That is our income tax, right? Income tax, it is always recorded on the credit side. There are no conditions. There is no if, whatever, hey, wara, pants na peso. No. Income tax, it is always on the credit side. No conditions. Then, with balance at the end. Balance at the end, you record it on the opposite side of what the information is telling you. I repeat, balance at the end, it is recorded on the opposite side of what the information tells us or that is telling you. Example, if your balance at the end, it's an asset, we know that the original side of an asset is debit, but because keep balance at the end, you record it on the opposite side, which is what? Which is credit. If your balance at the end, it's a liability, we know that the original side of a liability is credit, but because that is the balance at the end, you record it on the what? On the opposite side, which is debit. That rule only applies with balance at the end. Balance at the beginning, you follow the information. Income tax, always on the credit side. Balance at the end, you go to the opposite side. When the examiner says right-hand side, you say left-hand side. When she says left-hand side, you say right-hand side. Simple as that. That is with balance at the end. Now, let's start. We look at information B, focusing on 2023. In 2023, is our SARS income tax an asset or a liability? In 2023, our income tax, it's a what? It's an asset. An asset of how much? An asset of 23,400. What is the original side of an asset? The original side of an asset, it's the what? It's the debit side. So you come to the debit side, you say what? 23,400. Wait, my handwriting. Sorry, guys. The original side of a asset, it's what? 23,400. Right? Yes. Step number 2, we look for income tax, or we record income tax. Where is our income tax? Our income tax is on information A. How much do we have as income tax on information A? 234,080. Where is the income tax always recorded? It is always recorded on the credit side. You come to your credit side, you say 234,080. That's our income tax. Now balance at the end. Remember I said you must record 3 amounts. One, 2, now we need to record the third one. We go back to information B. On information B, what is it that we have? On information B, we focus on 2024. How much do we have? How much do we have? as SARS income tax. Or in fact, no. Where is SARS income tax in 2024? That is the question I wanted to ask. Where is SARS income tax in 2024? SARS income tax in 2024, it is a liability. What is the original side of a liability? The original side of a liability, it's credit, but this is balance at the end. Therefore, you record it on the what? On the opposite side of what the information is telling you. I repeat, you record it on the opposite side of what the information is telling you. The information is telling us to record the balance at the end on the credit side, but we are opposing that. Therefore, the balance at the end of 10,500, it must be recorded on the debit side. Because the opposite of credit is debit. Because liability means credit. Right? Liability means what? It means credit. What is the opposite of credit? It's debit. Why are we taking it on the opposite side? Because it's balance at the end. So the 10,500, it comes on the debit side. Right? Then after you check which side is bigger, right? You check which side is more. Obviously, we can see that the credit side is more than what? The debit side, right? So you say 230, no. So you're simply going to say this 234,080 234,080 minus the two amounts on the debit side, 234,080 minus 23,400 minus 10,500. We have income tax paid of 200,180. This is your final answer for the. We proceed. Opposite already. How Mona Lisa? But benga qedi.
Serious?